Welcome back everybody to this trophy goddess Sekiro. We just killed the chained ogre, we rested the sculptor's idol. Which means we have to kill these two again. Luckily they're very easy. And now we can take care of that enemy that's around the corner here. Hopefully you got the Makiri counter when I did, because this is our very first spear wielder. He's going to come at you with almost nothing but thrusts, so getting the Makiri counter here makes him trivial. When you see the kanji pop up, well, don't do what I did. Dodge. Wow. And do a strike. Because I had to use a healing gourd there, I'm actually gonna do it all over again. I'll actually tell you what, because I know what's coming up. I'm about to travel back to the temple here in a second anyway. That guy dead, you can jump up here. Wait, hang on. Get his item. Then jump back up here. And get a nightjar monocular. Lets you look into the distance. But since I know most of the locations, we're never going to use it. If you come to the right here, you find a locked door. If you want, you can use your new monocular right here to find, oh look at that, another mini-boss. And several enemies. The big one being that one up on the wall there on the right. He's a siren that will notify everyone if he sees you. He's got a little gong. With that being said, come on here, and we get a gourd seed. And we can go ahead and grab this. With that gourd seed in hand, though, I like to go ahead and head back and use it. Try to use your gourd seeds as soon as you can after you obtain them. By the way, I believe traveling acts as resting. So if you know you're going to travel somewhere, you don't need to rest. He's referring to the remnant we saw.
Ashina no shiro. その天守近くで囚われとなっておいでです。ですが、城の門は閉じられています。そうか。狼殿、よく参ら。
Give it the gourd seed and get out of here. Now you have to rest in order to reset your healing gourd. And then we want to travel back to where we were. Get these two for what feels like the 1000th time. Oops. That's not good. Man, I am just messing up everywhere. It's kind of the point, though. Is again, this is to show you that an average Joe like me can get platinum, then so can you. Let's come over here. Hug this wall. There's a rifleman at the end over there behind the barriers. And I believe there's a way, there's a guy who will walk towards him. There you go. Come up to this hole right here, and you see the guy walking over there? You want to trigger his walking animation, which you can't do unless you go that far. The reason for that is you can come over here to the tall grass, make sure you do it quickly so the rifleman doesn't spot you. If you linger, you will get his attention. Eventually that guy will come around the corner, and he's going to walk all the way over here into the tall grass with you. And if you're careful, you can avoid him and get behind him for a stealth death blow. Quickly crouch again so you don't pull the rifleman. You want to quickly walk behind him. Hug this wall, and you don't want to pull that guy just yet with a ceramic shard, although that's what we're going to do, because that guy's coming up the stairs. He's going to walk all the way to the wall at the end there, so wait for him to get a reasonable distance away, and then we're going to huck a ceramic shard at this guy. And then we can get a corner death blow on him. Keep hugging this wall. That guy at the end of the wall there is going to turn around and start making his way back. And when he gets close to you, you can use another ceramic shard. Now you can loot. And what we want to do is we do not want to go down this hallway here. We want to go down the stairs the guy came up from. Do it stealthily though, because you do not want to get the attention of the siren at the top of the wall there. That's actually where we're heading, so we need to grapple up here, and we want to jump up here. Try to stay away from him. Sneak up behind him. Then there's another rifleman right there. There's the mini boss. Before you get to him though, there's another enemy right there. So, what we can do is we can drop down and stealth kill that guy, which I believe will pull the attention of the mini-boss. When that happens, I'm going to sprint almost all the way back to the sculptor's idol to lose his attention, and then I'm going to come back and try to get a stealth blow on him as he's walking back. Or you can wait for him to finish patrolling that way. Let's see if he turns around. Got his attention, and I want to get far away from him. Just keep running until the health bar goes away. Then you can turn around and start heading back. Head back slowly, though. Because, yep, he could be so close as right here. You don't want to accidentally run right into him. So now we can get our stealth death blow. Go lead him back into this open area. He acts as the other samurai generals have, except he's got a couple more perilous attacks. He's got a like 4 or 5 hit downward combo, which you want to watch out for. Other than that, though, it's just a matter of deflecting. Sometimes do your little whirlwind slash, stay the distance on him. See the sword glints, it means he's doing a sweep attack that you can jump over. There's the 4-hit combo. If you deflect all of them, then you'll deal massive posture damage, which is nice. And the big overhead swing that's easily telegraphed. He also has a thrust attack that you can Makiri counter. It only comes at the end of that 2-hit combo, though. If your guard breaks, then just start dodging away to try to get space on him. Also has a Dokkan sugar that you want to try to get rid of. Ow. Unfortunate time to get my guard broken. Drops another prayer bead. That's 3 total. Also a little bit of money. Grab this item on the ground here before leaving for some upgrade materials. And now what we're gonna do is do a tiny bit of sidetracking. Come through this gates. Go down here to find some divine confetti, which is going to be indispensable much later. Continue down here and you can read this note for some ominous warnings. Continue this way and we're going to grapple to this tree. Now for a fun leap of faith. If you can see way down there, there's a ledge that you can grapple onto. So we're going to jump and just try to time our ledge grab so that we grab onto it. Jump and grab. And we can shimmy on over. Until finally we can climb up. Grab this Jachin's sugar or Gachin's sugar. And then we're going to jump way over to this ledge. When you jump, you want to continue to hold the left stick because you're barely going to make it. come into this dark cave. Crouch down to get in here. And now, here's a tricky part. Because there is an extremely difficult mini-boss up ahead of us. One that we're not supposed to be tackling until much later in the game. So what you want to do to avoid this fight, this is what the note was about, is you want to stick to the right wall as much as possible. You'll get to a tunnel with 3 spirit emblems in it, and a grapple point. Grapple all the way up. And across. And across again. Across again. And now we're going to climb up here, but be careful because there's some geckos up here that will spit poison at you. They're one of the easiest enemies in the game. They'll die to anything, but it is worth noting to be careful. And they die to a single shuriken. Double jump and grab. Like there he is, he's got his back turned. You can stealth kill them just like anyone. Oops. Nasty. And there's a second one up here. You want to bum rush. See, there's the spit. Pick this up. There's the poison. And then you want to grapple up here. For some antidote powder and some divine grass. And now we can open up that door that was locked earlier. Make sure that you do this because we're going to use that shortcut much later in the game. But you don't want to get that far only to find out that that door is still closed. And now we can move on. We're going to grapple up here. And we got this broken bridge. We are actually going to grapple over to the side here, and we're going to drop down to that item. But be careful, as you might be able to hear, there's a gecko right there on the underside of the bridge. So go ahead and lock onto him and hit him with a shuriken. And then we can pick up this pellets, and we can start dropping down these cliffs to find a new sculptor's idol. Rests to reset my resurrection node. I also have a new skill point that I can use, and I shall. We're gonna put it towards the grappling hook attack. Drop down again. Don't worry about the shaking, I'm sure it's fine. Drop down and grapple so you don't take any damage. Drop down here. Drop down here. Grapple over to the other side. Quickly run and hug this wall because we figure out not only where that shaking was coming from, but who left that snake skin from oh so long ago. This thing is going to continue to look around trying to find you. When it's gone, you need to stop hugging, jump over, grapple over here, drop down into here quickly, and crouch into the grass. Now we're trying to get to the other side where this cave is. Let's wait for him to get away. Then we can jump and grapple and run. run into here, and we want to drop down, and we're going to quickly hug a wall to our left. Now our goal is the grass in front of us there. We need to be careful because the snake will find us where we are right now. So as he starts to creep along, start moving towards the other side. Then he'll go back. He gets all the way back. Just be patient with it. Now, we can run, jump, and hide. If he sees you at all, there's a good chance he'll slam his body into you and you'll die immediately. Now we want to try to get to the other side. Wait for him to get away and we're going to hug this wall. Start shimmying to the right. Now the goal is that little house right there. I want to wait for him to lose interest and then sprint and hide. Now we wait for a red dot. Right now. When this happens, we gotta get the heck out of dodge. Go, go, go. Run behind the place. We want to grapple up here. We want to grapple up here and then to dodge that. And then up there. And we made it. Before we leave this cave, you want to actually double back and get an item that we couldn't get at the moment. That's going to be very useful down the road. Right here we get some snap seeds, which are useful for dispelling illusions, I believe is how they put it. More on what that means later. So, and also this will let me show you what you should do is try to grapple up here and then up there. I was at way too steep of an angle, so when I grappled the first time I just went straight up and down. But now we can leave here, grapple over here. Grapple over here, grapple up here, and up here, and we get a safe point. Go ahead and grab this if you want. Go ahead and rest if you need to. I guess I didn't need to do that. And now, what we can do is come over here to where there's another Senpo assassin right behind us. If I remember right, you can't really sneak up on this guy as many times as I've tried. You can hide behind this rock as he walks forward and try to get him that way. But again, these guys are very weak, so you can just be aggressive towards them, and they will die. What the? Really? You can throw shurikens through rock. So he's got shurikens, he's got a grapple attack you want to be careful of. And you get an herb catalog scrap, which details what snap seeds do. Some experience, some money. You can skip that guy altogether if you would like. Go ahead and just heal me back up from that. We're gonna come back the way we came. There's an item at the end here. Try to stick to the wall, because there's an enemy near the wall that might see you if you go too far out. That's actually who we're gonna tackle. Let's grab up to here. There's a soldier making his way. He's gonna get very close to this ledge, and we can get a stealth blow on him. While we wait, I'll point out there's a rifleman up there. There's another soldier right there. Stay right here, because a Tarot Troop brute is coming around the corner. So what we're gonna do is wait for him to get past us, climb up, stab him in the back, and then bail. Because we're gonna pull the attention of the rifleman and the rifleman at the end here. There's also, I wonder if I can get him on a little bit. You can see an eavesdrop opportunity right there. There's two guys in the middle of the courtyard, one facing you and one facing away. So you don't want to climb up too early or the Tarot Troop brute will see you. And then bang. Trying to lose their attention at the moment. Wait for these yellow triangles to go away. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Alright. So climb up and dart to the left. Before anybody sees you, pick up this. Then we can jump up this roof right here. Crouch down. This guy sees you. So maybe do it over here. Quickly get into the building. And we're gonna stealth kill this guy. And then quickly go back into the building. That guy will give up. We can leave the building. Try to sneak behind this guy. Stick as close to the wall as possible. I believe it's a spearman and a rifleman over here. We'll try our best to get the eavesdrop. Somehow. Let me try to grapple up here. Should be an eavesdrop opportunity right here, and it's not triggering. They're too far apart somehow. Oh well. Alright, that's everyone in the courtyard, so pick this up. And this. And most importantly, this, our first heavy coin purse, which is worth 500 Sin. Grapple back up to here for a remnant.
ひとたびは退けたが、ナイフの軍はあまりに強大だ。
それゆえ我が血を流因の力を利用するというのですか。いかに力を得るとて、痛みも恐れも忘れ、戦い続けるなど、私は人の生き方を歪めたくはないのです。
この屍の山を見ろ。もはや尋常の術ではアシナは守れぬのだ。
私は健一郎殿ほど強くはなれません。何をなすべきか未だわからぬのです。
あれから随分と経つ。待ったとて無駄なことだ。
And we can come up here, but be careful because there's a soldier patrolling. There he is. And we can sneak up on and stealth kill. And another soldier back here with an eavesdrop.
木陰よ、かわいそうなオラの馬子よ。奴ら爆竹なんぞで脅かしよって。死んじまった。死んじまったよ。
Little hint about horses there. We can stealth kill him. Get this. And actually, if you have any damage on you, now you should go back to the Sculptor's Idol. Heal up. Because we got our very first major boss fight coming up. You might remember overhearing people talking about Gyoubu the demon. Also, if you're close to leveling up as I am, you might consider farming a couple of the enemies in the courtyard just ahead until you get a skill point, so that you don't risk losing half of that experience if you don't succeed at this boss fight. But you can bypass that entire courtyard by grappling up here and then dropping down here. Before I do that though, let me see if I can get that eavesdrop going. There it is.
見ろ。大手門にのろしが上がっておる。刑部様か。ああ、まさに鬼刑部。あのお方がおれば、アシナもまだまだ安泰よ。
Gonna take out this guy again. You can come up here to find a locked door and a pellet, and come to take out this rifleman. And then we need to make sure we've got everything ready to go. So we got our healing gores, our pellets, our sugars, and most importantly, the Shinobi Firecracker. So, Gyoubu is a giant samurai that actually rides on horseback and carries a giant spear on the end of a rope. So, as evidenced by the man back there we eavesdropped on, our Shinobi Firecracker can startle his horse and let us get a few free attacks in. The way this fight works is Gyoubu's gonna run around trying to take swipes at us, but we just have to stay on him. Occasionally a grappling hook attack is gonna pop up that we can take advantage of now that we have that skill. What else? This is a fight of posture, so we are going to be using our deflections. That's the good news, is in this game, no matter how big the weapon is, you can always deflect them. The only things you can't deflect are perilous attacks, which Gyoubu has, I think, just one of. It's a sweep attack, so as long as you jump out of the way... Or no, it's a grapple attack. So as long as you jump out of the way, then you can avoid it when you see it coming. He does have one move to be aware of where he spins his spear on the rope around him several times, and it's actually better to dodge close to him than away from him, because then the spear will go right over your head. Before we start though, it doesn't start until you get close. Let's pick up this item, and he's going to come out of that gate, and you can get some free attacks in. So stay on him when he's riding around like this. Just watch out for the swings. He's got that triple attack that you can deflect and do a whirlwind slash on. And if he starts riding away, he does that, you can grapple attack. Make sure you block once you're done with the grapple attack though, because he usually follows it up with an attack of his own. You'll see him stay on his horse a lot like that. Like that, and then you can firecracker. Do a whirlwind slash and another attack. And sometimes you'll stun him naturally. Take advantage of those grapples. Back out of this corner, please. There we go. Grapple. And we get our first death blow. Really the only thing that changes so he gets a little more aggressive. So stay on him. But most importantly, I'll show you, when you use a firecracker, he comes down with an attack. In phase 1, he does not bother with that attack. In phase 2, if you stun him with the firecracker, he'll come down on your head, so you have to be careful. The other big attack to be aware of in phase 2 is he's got a triple attack where him and his horse jump up in the ground and come slamming down on your head. But again, you can deflect it just like anything. Ah, see, I lost track of him. Jump attacks. Oh, it's 2, not 3. And you can deflect them. Get a stab in, and deflect. Boom. Now, notice that second red dot that appeared? Major bosses require, and a trophy, a shinobi execution, where, I'll talk about that in a second. When you get the last death blow on a major boss, you actually have to do a second one, called a shinobi execution. So just make sure you're paying attention when you hit Gyoubu for the last time that you're ready for the follow-up. And upon death, you get the memory of Gyoubu Oniwa and the mechanical barrel. And a pop-up about prosthetic upgrades. And 1,000 experience. And a pop-up about reflection of strength. So for me, 2 whole skill points. Jeez, where am I? Okay. Get my bearings. And we can come over here to the Sculptor's Idol. So let me explain. We got the mechanical barrel, which opens up Shinobi prosthetic tool upgrades, so now we can use all those upgrade materials we've been finding, the scrap iron and the black gunpowder. And we got the memory of that boss. Every time you beat a major boss, you get their memory, which when you commune with a Sculptor's Idol, you can turn in the memory to enhance your attack power. And new to this game is also the reflection of strength, which lets you replay the boss fights just for a little bit of practice. You don't get any rewards for them. So we can immediately turn in, confront the memory of Gyoubu. And I highly suggest you read all of the remnants, because they have interesting backstory of each of the bosses if you read that paragraph. And our attack power goes up to 2. Go ahead and rest while we're here. And let's acquire some skills. I'm gonna get the run and slide, which lets you do exactly as it says. You can slide as you're running. If you hit crouch while you're running, then you'll slide into a stealth position. And then don't spend the next one. I'm gonna save up for, speaking of stealth, the suppressed presence, which just increases your stealth. Our end game here is to get the Shinobi Eyes, which increases the amount of posture damage upon executing a successful Makiri counter. So that's where we're heading. Alright, so with all of that, don't open this gate quite yet. Instead, head all the way to the other side of the arena where you find a big old staircase. Come over this way to find some bodies. Go past the door for a moment. And come get this item. And up these stairs to find another memorial mob.
いかがかね。こんなところにも死者があるところ、また供養衆あり。ゆえに戦場こそ我らの庭よ。さあ、ご供養していきなされ。
This one has a dragon's blood droplet, which I'll explain in a second. Antidote powder, fistfuls of ash, coin purses, Robert's firecrackers if you didn't buy them earlier. But most importantly, a gourd seed for 1,000 sen. That's what we're gonna get. Before I do that though, I do want to explain the dragon's blood droplet, which I want to do by backing out of here and hitting pause. And you may notice, in fact this may have happened to you already, we have what's called Unseen Aid at the bottom of our pause menu here, and it's currently at 30%. What that means is anytime I die twice, meaning die for good, I have a 30% chance of receiving Unseen Aid. And what Unseen Aid does is prevent me from losing any experience or any money. So 30% of the time when I die for good, I won't get any of the downside. However, the more times you die permanently, you have a chance of spreading something called dragon rot, which will most likely happen to me much later down the line, which reduces my chance of unseen aid and requires several steps in order to cure to get my unseen aid back to 30%. One of the parts of that cure is the dragon's blood droplet. So, if you already have a piece of dragon rot, if your unseen aid is already down past below 30%, you might want to consider picking up one of these, especially considering it's relatively cheap. And what happens is, if this has already happened to you, you receive an item that, if you read the description, gives you a hint as to someone who is sick. You need to talk to Emma. She asks you to find the sick person and gather a sample of their blood. So using the hints in the item description, you need to find someone who's coughing, take a sample of their blood, take it back to Emma, and that will unlock the ability to cure the dragon rot and get your unseen aid back to 30%. But you have to have a dragon's blood droplet to do so. So there you go. We're just going to get the gourd seed. So we need to sell $400, 400 sen worth of coin purses, which I only have 3, so that means I have to use my heavy coin purse. Boo. And there we go.
死者たちにごめん。
And before we turn that in, we're going to go in that door we passed earlier. We're going to find a gentleman.
ネズミがもう一匹。
A big gentleman.
いや、その目。飢えた狼か。切る前に名を聞いてやる。名乗りわしに名乗る名などないか。忍びは大概そうじゃ。名乗らず死におる。じゃが、その左腕、忍び技師とは懐かしい。なるほど。石腕の狼か。気に入ったぞ。ならば、セキロ、お主をそう呼ぼう。お前は何だ。わしはアシナの天狗よ。おうセキロ、お主もネズミ狩りをせぬか。何だと。このアシナにはネズミが入り込んでおる。うじゃうじゃと我が物顔でな。ネズミもいろいろじゃが、それを片端から切り捨てるのよ。どうやらお主にも人斬りの才がある。その才を磨くのに役立とう。どうじゃセキロ、ネズミ狩りをせぬか。
Make sure you accept his offer.
承知した。よし、セキロよ。ならばこれをくれてやる。
And you get the rat description. Which, spoiler alert, they're the Senpo assassins.
これはネズミの顔、それと巣穴じゃ。切ってまいれ。さすればお主の戦に役立つものをやろう。
So with that done, come over here to get this. Come talk to this lovely lady.
へえ、あんたが生き残ったのかい。鬼の行部様もやっと屍になれたかね。けれど何も変わりゃしないよ。戦は続き、屍は積まれ、怨嗟ばかりが満ち満ちる。あんた考えたことがあるかい。そういう怨嗟がどこに積もっていくのかを。ないだろう。ないだろうね。だからこそあんたもあやつも哀れなことだよ。
Just a little bit of story there. And we can open this door, which brings us back to the area right before the boss, where the rifleman was parading around down here. But before we leave, come back in here, and we're gonna walk up these stairs, come around to the other corner, where there's an item, and then we want to grapple up to the next level. Grapple up again, and we're gonna try to get to the beam in the middle there, but what you can actually do, sometimes this works, is you can get to the beam above us. Here, I'll show you. Let's see if we can jump. Let's see. You time your square right, you grapple onto this, which is where we want to go anyway. If you don't make it, just try to make it to the middle beam here, and then we're going to jump straight up to grapple onto this. Climb up and get into the roof, where you get our very first chest. It contains a brand spanking new and free prayer bead, and on top of that it's our 4th one. So come back down. Don't worry if you hurt yourself. And we're gonna go back to the sculptor idol after the boss. Heal up. And we can finally enhance our physical attributes. I highly suggest you read the descriptions for the prayer beads as well, because they also give a little bit of backstory. And now our health and posture has increased. Go ahead and open this gate. We're actually going to do a little something before we move on. Don't go too far up the stairs because there's a rifleman right there that you can just bum rush. Then you want to grapple up to the roof, but don't drop down on the other side. Instead, turn right. We want to drop down over here. Now be very careful, because as you can see, there's 2 Senpo assassins right here that we can eavesdrop on.
一心の病、やはり重いようじゃ。たとえ源一郎がおれど、芦名の国長くはなさそうだの。してもう一つの任は、城の蛇谷の側が黒笠で騒がしいようじゃ。ならば次はそちらよ。だが最新にな、黒笠の無事な生中にはやれぬぞ。
Little hint of things to come. But before we get over there, there's also on the other side of this tree another Senpo assassin watching those 2, waiting to ambush you if you ambush them. Furthermore, these are also the rats that the Tengu of Ashina was talking about. So that's why I decided to come over here, so we can go ahead and take care of them. Before we do, though, these Senpo assassins are slightly different in that they have strong hats that they like to use almost as a shield. And in Hirata Estate, we got a shinobi prosthetic tool that totally wrecks shields. So equip the loaded axe and get ready to use it on these guys. So go ahead and crouch down, come over here so that we can stealth blow this guy. And try your best to rush up and stealth blow one of them. Nope. The loaded axe is great because it one-shots them. And you get black gunpowder for killing one of them. top of the board. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Alright, heal up. Pause. Use my antidote powder. Guard. Sheesh. Alright, let's loot everything. Grab this pellet. And head back to the Tengu of Ashina.
おう、ネズミを飼ったようじゃな。おう、やはりお主には人斬りの才がある。よし、褒美じゃ、取っておけ。
And we get the Ashina Esoteric Text, our third skill tree.
これは芦名流じゃ。流派というても堅苦しい決まり事などない。ただ戦に勝つ。その一時を至上とする剣よ。ネズミ狩りに何よりお主の戦に役立てるがいい。
Alright, so with all that done, we can finally start moving on. So let's come back to the Sculptor's Idol. We also got a second skill point, so I'm going to take a look at what we got. So yeah, we have to get Suppressed Presence in order to get the Shinobi Eyes. But we also got the Ashina Arts, which first up is the Ichimonji, which is a good little tool. But most importantly is these 4 passives are extremely good, every single one of them. And it's also arguably the shortest, I think, skill tree. And since there's a reward for maxing out one of the skill trees, or not maxing out, but getting to the end over here, this is going to be a good one for that. Alright, but for now, let's get Suppressed Presence. And instead of going forward, we're actually going to finish Hirata Estate. So go ahead and travel to the estate path. And this is where we're going to pick up next time. Until then, stay safe.